this pattern of a certain type of person showing up in your life over and over again would cease to exist. It would not be necessary anymore. And if it does show up, you will not have that same reaction to that person in your life. Here is the uncomfortable truth. If somebody judges you, criticizes you, or idealizes you, they're actually just revealing something about themselves. In this video, I'm going to be revealing how projection works so you can finally understand and use it to your advantage. So any opponent, any enemy that comes your way, you will be immune to them when you understand projection. And you'll basically use it to level the fuck up. And you can also understand when you're the one that's projecting, and also use it to level up, to become more conscious of what is happening in your internal reality and bring yourself into a state of more awareness. And in this way, projection can always serve your highest good. Alright, let's get into it. First of all, before I start unpacking the idea of projection, we need to understand the idea of fragmentation first. Why projection happens in the first place. So imagine that you are this, right? And when you are born, you are whole and complete. But then things happen, trauma happens, and you begin to fragment yourself into loads of different pieces. So your consciousness stream isn't just one thing anymore. It starts to fragment into many different splits. You have so many of these inside of you. You have protector parts, you have vulnerable parts, you have needs and desires that people have convinced you that are not okay for you to have. You have maybe even talents that you have suppressed. You know, all kinds of things. And these are in your shadow. And in your consciousness, what you call your personality, in your ego conscious self, you identify yourself with the parts of you that kept you the most safe in this world. So let's just say your parents told you as a kid, you are too loud, you need to tone your voice down. You know, children and a fish don't have a voice. Or maybe you're singing too loud. So in that moment, you split yourself through shame. The part of you that is vulnerable and unacceptable to the outside world goes into your subconscious mind. So now you are a whole being, right? And then you split yourself. Oh, this part of me isn't okay. I need to get rid of this. But you can't split yourself because you're still one thing. The only thing you can do is split yourself in consciousness and put it into your shadow. And then identify yourself with the quiet one. The one that has a quiet voice, that doesn't really speak too loud, that feels small around other people. You know, the one that is a good girl or a good boy. Because being loud wasn't safe. If you were born into another kind of family where they valued music and they love loud people and they love theatrics and stuff like that, then you would have been accepted, and maybe the quiet part of you would have gone into your shadow. So it all depends on where you are geographically born and what kind of family you are born into, what culture, what do they value, all of these things. And these values culturally are passed down from generation to generation to generation. So you end up with this chain of generational trauma of like people who have suppressed a specific trait in themselves. You know, there's countless examples that I could go into. Let's just say your parents tell you, boys don't cry. Alright, I must split the part of me that is sensitive and put it into the shadow. And identify with the part of me that is strong, because that's what's socially safe. And it could also be things that are not even words. People could have just given you a certain look, and that would be enough for you to fragment yourself. And you might start to think that you're not good enough. You know, children, they make everything in the world around them mean something about themselves. So an example from my life would be, oh, my mom left me when I was a kid. well, that must mean I'm not good enough. Because if I was a better child, she would have never wanted to leave me. And so I fragmented myself, and I grew up my whole life until I did inner work, believing that I wasn't good enough. Here's where we come into the idea of projection. Because I believed I wasn't good enough, I would idealize other people on the outside world who I thought were better than me. Alright, let's get into it. So, this is super awkward. I should probably find a different setup. But, on my shoulder. But here's you, right? Here is a part of you that you are trying to push away. That is not good. Okay, so here is you, and here's the part of you that's in your shadow, and it says don't look. Because your psyche finds this dangerous. If you were to look at this, it would threaten your survival, because you would have to confront yourself as a bad person, as a bad boy, as a bad girl. This wasn't socially safe. It wasn't socially acceptable. It could even be a good trait, such as your loud voice, speaking up, singing, you know, it could be a hidden talent. It could be the part of you that has audacity. It could be the part of you that isn't the people pleaser, that knows exactly what they want and is unafraid to go and fucking get it in the world, you know? If you identify yourself as a people pleaser, then your shadow is literally the exact opposite of a people pleaser. It is someone who has audacity. It is someone who is loud. It is all of these things. And if you integrate this through looking at it and feeling the shame, the thing that is actually splitting you away from that part of you, then you can actually find gold in your shadow. This is mental alchemy right here. So anyway, let's keep going. This is how this blue line here represents how you identify yourself. So you identify yourself with this part of you that kept you safe. This is what you call your personality. I am shy. I am quiet. I am this way. I am that way. This is all bullshit because you're also this, but it's just in your shadow. So then you go about your day and you see this red person. What happens now? Uh-oh, we're in trouble, because now this part of you, which is still a part of you, by the way, you might not identify yourself with it, but it is still a part of you nonetheless. It is seeing itself on the outside in this person. So let's say you see a celebrity and they have significance in their life. You are now projecting your own feelings of significance, because you feel insignificant, onto this person, and you become totally obsessed with this person. Another way that it can go is it can trigger a more unwanted, darker part of you, and then you actually project onto this person your negative traits, and you subconsciously want to attack them. Well, why is that? It's because your psyche is actually wanting to become whole this whole time. And these people are constantly going to come into your life over and over again as a mirror, because we live in a universe that is governed by the law of mirroring. So whatever is within you is going to keep showing up outside of you. Now, if you were to go within and integrate the split by feeling the shame and looking at this thing that you don't want to look at and making it okay that it is a part of you, then you would be whole. This pattern of a certain type of person showing up in your life over and over again would cease to exist. It would not be necessary anymore. And if it does show up, you will not have that same reaction to that person in your life. So this is also what happens when other people judge you, criticize you, leave negative comments. If you can understand this, you won't take it personally anymore. Unless it's triggering the same thing within you, then you need to go and integrate, and that's how you become more powerful. But if somebody else is coming up to you and saying, okay, I got a good example from real life. Mom, don't watch this. Let's just say somebody says to you, you're too skinny, you need to eat more. What is actually happening in that person's psyche is that they wish that they were skinnier. Or if somebody's telling you, you know, you spend too much time on yourself, you put on too much makeup, I don't like it. They actually secretly wish that they could be like you and have the balls to dress the way that they want to dress. Because somewhere deep down, they have decided that it wasn't safe for them to dress the way that they wanted, that they need to please people with the way that they dress, that it's not safe because, oh, what if I entice men if I dress the way that I want, or make other women jealous, right? So now this person projects their shadow onto the subject. So somebody who has suppressed their own inner part that really wants to express themselves and dress the way that this person is dressing is going to project onto that person and think, oh my god, who the fuck does she think she is? She looks like a slut. You know, this is what is happening. You, as this expressed being who's dressing the way that they want, is mirroring this person's subconscious fears and desires. And you see, understanding this dynamic is going to make you more powerful because it's going to give you compassion. You'll be able to see this person as, oh, I see you're just projecting. Like, don't say that to them, obviously, because that will make them more mad because they don't even know they're projecting, by the way, most of the time. But you'll be able to see, oh, they're projecting. I feel sorry for you. I understand because you're actually in pain and I am mirroring something for you. And that helps you not take personally what this person is saying because you understand, oh, it's about them. It has nothing to do with me. And when you understand this dynamic within yourself, you can use it to become more whole, to become more powerful. Because by integrating these split aspects, you can heal. And now you walk around the world as a more whole being, so you're no longer triggered by everything outside of you. So now hopefully you understand fragmentation and how it works, and projection in yourself and other people, and you can use this to heal yourself and become more whole and not take things personally. And yeah, I hope that you understand. I hope that this made sense, and let me know down below if you have any questions or how this resonated with you, what part of the video really hit you, and I'd love to see you on the next one. I also do one-to-one sessions, so if you are interested, have a look at the link down below. I'll see you in the next video.